so I'm sure it's going to taste as good as it smells. So I'm just going to give this a try now. Oh yeah, that's really nice. You can really taste the lemon, but the barbecue sauce you can taste as well with the pasta. That is yummy. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make my delicious glazed lemon salmon with a barbecue pasta sauce. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious glazed lemon salmon on a tomato barbecue pasta sauce. So this recipe is really easy. So I have my salmon here. In the original recipe this serves 4, so if you are serving it for 4 you will obviously need a bit more salmon than I have. And I have half the juice of a lemon here as well, and then I'm going to add to the lemon juice 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar. You can use any sort of sugar for this recipe. I prefer coconut sugar because it slides through the liver slightly easier. So I'm just going to stir that into the lemon juice like so. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to spread that over the top of the salmon. And I'm going to leave this in the fridge for a good couple of hours just to marinate. And then I shall get on with making the main sauce. So as I said, I'm off to put this into the fridge for probably a couple of hours, or just before I want to serve the whole meal, I shall put it into the oven and let it cook. While the salmon is in the fridge, I'm going to be making my pasta sauce. I'm going to put my hob onto a high heat, and then I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the base of that pan, and I'm going to leave the pan to heat up. The pan is starting to get hot, so what I've done is I have peeled, sliced and diced 1 onion that I'm just going to put into the base of the pan like so, and I'm going to let this cook until it starts to soften and go a lovely golden brown colour. So this will probably take around 3 to 5 minutes to cook. So as I said, I'm just going to start to cook the onion by moving it around the base of the pan like so. The onion has started to turn a golden brown colour now, so I'm just going to turn down my heat by 1 because it is slightly hot. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some butternut squash in. So I have about 200 grams of butternut squash that I've simply peeled and sliced. I did use a vegetable peeler to peel the butternut squash, and I've just cut it into fairly small chunks. I'm just going to put this into the base of the pan, and I'm going to cook this for a while now. I do want it to soften slightly as well, so I'm probably going to cook this for about 10 minutes. You do have to stand by the pan while you're doing it, but it will start to soften eventually. I think my chunks were slightly too big, so if you wanted to make your chunks slightly smaller then you could. But don't worry too much because you're going to blend everything together at the end anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But as I said, I'm going to stand here for about 10 minutes now and just keep frying this butternut squash. I left this on the hob for a good 8 minutes and it has started to soften. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some courgette as well. So I've peeled and grated 1 whole courgette. In the original recipe I think I said a carrot, but I found a courgette in the fridge today and decided it was a courgette for this recipe today. I don't know what happened really, but anyway, so in the original recipe it will say a carrot, but if you wanted to use a courgette then you could. All the carrot and the courgette do is just add a little bit of water, and you don't really need to fry a carrot or courgette for too long, just about a minute or so, just to heat it through. Oh, that's getting really hot, I'm going to turn that down slightly. Don't worry about the base of the pan as well. If your pan goes like this, it does all add to the flavour, trust me. So I am just frying the courgette like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my herbs and spices to that as well. Just going to turn the heat down again slightly, just so it doesn't burn. And then I'm going to add in some smoked paprika to this. So I'm adding in about a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and then I'm also going to add in some ground ginger. Now I am feeding the sauce to my son, and he's not really the biggest ginger fan, so I'm only going to put in a little bit. but if you want to add in more then you can do. And then I've got some ground cinnamon here as well, or you can use ground sweet cinnamon if you've got some of that. I'm going to add that in. And then I'm also going to add in some dried mixed herbs as well. I'm just going to add those in. I'm going to mix again, like so, for about 30 seconds or so. And while I'm mixing these, I just want to say that if you do enjoy videos like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you have enjoyed this video, then please feel free to give it a big thumbs up, because everything like that really helps me out. So as I said, I'm just going to fry these now. It does look a bit dirty and a bit disgusting, but trust me, it will look good later. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a tin of tomatoes as well. So I'm just going to add in the tin of tomatoes and about 200 mils of chicken stock as well. If you haven't got chicken stock, then you can use vegetable stock if you want to, or you could use bone broth as well. Bone broth is really nice with this, I have to say. So I am just going to leave that on the heat. I'm going to turn the heat back up and I'm going to bring it to the boil, and then I will leave it to simmer. So as I said, I'm just going to bring this to the boil. So the sauce is coming to the boil now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat right down, and I'm going to put the lid loosely on to the saucepan as well. And I am going to leave this on the hob for a good 30 to 40 minutes. What I want to happen is I want the juice from the tomatoes to evaporate, and I want the sauce to sort of go all jammy, and then I'm going to blend it later. So I just want a jammy sauce. I actually might leave the lid off, to be honest, because that will hopefully help the tomato juice to evaporate. And the reason I'm doing this for so long is because it does take a little while for everything to reduce down. And if you wanted to make this sauce in advance of the meal, then you could do. So you could make this on the weekend and freeze it. All of the ingredients in this sauce are freezable, so you can freeze it and then just heat it up as and when you want it. So yes, as I said, I'm going to leave this on the hob now for a good 30 to 40 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll leave it to cool, and then I'll blend it. As you can see, the sauce has started to become quite jammy now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this from the heat, and I'm going to leave it to cool with the lid on now, and then once it's cooled I will blend it. I have left the sauce to cool, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into the blender, if I don't get it all over my face and my clothes, and I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to blend all of these ingredients together until they're smooth, and this will form the sauce for the pasta that I will cook later once I have cooked the salmon off. So as I said, I'm now just going to blend all of these ingredients together. Finished blending the sauce, and as you can see it is smooth, so I'm going to put this into a saucepan and I'm going to heat it through while I cook the salmon. So I'm going to go and put the salmon into the oven in a little while. Nearly dinner time, so I'm going to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. The oven has preheated, and I have transferred the glazed lemon salmon to, well, soon to be glazed lemon salmon, to a baking tray. This is a stoneware baking tray, so I don't need to oil it, but if you need to oil yours, then please do. As you can see, I have another piece of salmon here. This is for my son. He didn't really enjoy the glazed lemon salmon last time, so I'm just going to do his plain, and I'm now going to put this into the oven for about 15 minutes, or until the fish starts to flake, so the flesh of the fish starts to flake away from itself. So the salmon has cooked, I can tell, because the fish is flaking away from itself. So I'm going to take this out. I'm just boiling some pasta as per the packet instructions, and I'll add that to the sauce, and then I will add the fish on top, and I will try it and let you know how it tastes, but I'm sure it's going to be delicious. So before I sign off, I'm just going to give this a little try. It smells very nice, I have to say, so I'm sure it's going to taste as good as it smells. So I'm just going to give this a try now. Oh yeah, that's really nice. You can really taste the lemon, but the barbecue sauce you can taste as well with the pasta. That is yummy. I'm looking forward to my dinner. That's how you make my delicious glazed lemon salmon with a barbecue pasta sauce, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner and it smells and tasted so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.